Good morning and welcome to Front Porch Conversations with Mamaw on Mamaw's Backyard Chickens. Sitting out here, it's probably 11:30, a little after 11. Since I'm retired and the kids are out of school, I don't get up until 9 o'clock. So I have come out to turn the water on so I can go back and feed and water the chickens when I get done, and I'll do a video on that too. Yesterday we talked about incubation and getting your chicks that way. Today I want to talk to you about my setup, how I do things. And give you guys just a little introduction for some of y'all who may be new. I'm Mamaw. I am married. My husband had a stroke in 2019 and he's wheelchair bound. So I took early retirement in order to be here with him in case he needs something. Now he can take care of himself pretty good, so I just have to be here, to make sure he eats and things like that. So he and I bought this place 16 years ago, and we've had chickens since then. Before his stroke, we had almost 50 chickens. Well, we did have 50 plus. And we had goats and rabbits, and he had a huge garden. Because he has the green thumb, I don't. So when I talk about my garden, y'all, it's because I'm trying to learn how to not kill stuff, And that's why I bought books, and I'm trying to learn. I grew up on farms, but I was a kid, and so all I did was physical manual labor. I did what I was told when I was told, So gardening is my weakest area. And I think it's because I'm not a very patient person, and you have to be patient to be a gardener. Anyway, I've got 7 grandkids. I've got 3 grown adult children from my first marriage. And the youngest, who will be 39 this year, lives at home with me with her 3 boys, and the boys are 19, 18, and 13. So if you hear me talking about my grandsons, that's who I'm talking about. I have 4 other grandchildren. My son has 3 children, a boy and 2 girls, and my daughter has a little boy, but they live several miles away from me, so I don't get to see them that often. Anyway, that's a little bit about Mamaw. For people who may be new watching. So today we're going to talk about my setup here that you see when I go back and feed my chickens. When I officially retired last year, I decided to get back into chickens. So I started buying the coops and the runs. Before that I had like 3 or 4 chickens, but I used like one of those little tight playhouses. That was their chicken house, and they had a small little run, and I just had, they were my older hens that I had left over, but then I decided that I'm going to do this thing again. I'm going to get the chickens, I'm going to do the breeding, I'm going to do the hatching, I'm going to sell some chickens and chicks and stuff. So I went online looking for a run, and I happened to come across Target, and Target had a clearance on this run, and I don't know if it was a mistake, but I feel like it might have been. This run is 10 by 20, and it was $125, and that's a steal. So I snatched that booger up, and me and my youngest grandson, he's the one that helps with the chicken all the time. He's 13. We put it together, and then for the coop, since I wasn't planning on getting very many chickens to start with, that run I've got 15 chickens in there. I've got 14 hens and a rooster. and I could probably get away with 4 or 5 more in that run. So I got a small shed off of Amazon, and it was also on sale, and it was $100. And I bought the flooring to put in it. I put floor in it, sheet plywood flooring and 2x4s. And me and my grandson again put that together. And it took a couple of days, y'all. There's so many screws. I almost, if you have the patience to do it good, and you can get one cheaper that way, but it was almost too much. But, I mean, now that I know what I'm doing, I may get another one. Next fall, I want to get another run and another coop for my chickens because I want to separate them out. But anyway, that's what I got. And so the run, materials, the coop, a little less than $300 for the chickens. And then, I have the 5 ducklings. And the reason I got ducks is because ducks tend to lay, they'll lay in the winter, lay eggs in the winter. And mainly I got the ducks hoping that they would be laying in the wintertime when my chickens weren't, because I don't put artificial light in my coop. So they take a winter break. Most, my hens don't lay in the winter. Let's see. So that's the cooping run that I've got, and the ducks run was $100, and their house is just a igloo dog house that I had here, and my dogs do not stay outside at all. I mean, they have a doggy door, and they run in the backyard, but they sleep in the house. So I didn't need the dog house, and so I used it as a duck house. And I may upgrade that later. I'm not sure, but it's working fine, and they like it right now. And like I said, the runs that I've got are, they're not predator-proof by any means if they were standalone coops and runs, but except for hawks, and that's the main thing for me. But my backyard is fenced with cattle wire all the way around, 4-inch cattle panels, and it is pretty predator safe because I have my dogs, and I have 6 dogs, but they're all small and they patrol the property all the time. So they will let me know if anything gets out there. And plus I have cameras set up in the duck run and in the chicken coop. Now last year we had a problem with snakes getting in there, in the little playhouse, and I mean, it didn't hurt the chickens, but it come in to eat the eggs, and my daughter would come out and wrangle the snakes. She's a snake wrangler. But anyway, this year I haven't had any issues with snakes. Not that they haven't been here. We've seen several, but they hadn't gotten in my coop because it's got a solid floor, and it's surrounded by the run that is secure, and a snake can't get in there. If it did, the chickens would get it. Anyway, that's rambling. Why should you listen to me about chicken care? You don't have to. It's up to you. I'm not going to say I know everything there is to know about chickens. But what I can say is that I am 63 years old. And I have been around and raised chickens on and off since I was a little girl. So I do know right much about chickens. And I have done right much research on breeding the chickens, and so that I could get these rainbow-colored eggs. And I know right much, but I'm not going to say I'm an expert on it. There may be some smarter chicken people out there, and there may be some that have a totally different way of raising chickens than me, but I see chickens as more of a livestock farm animal than I do as a pet, and so that's what my content is going to address. I do not raise meat chickens, although we have killed extra roosters in the past. I don't believe in the Cornish cross meat chickens, and if you want to do that, great, fine, fantastic. But if you're going, I feel like if you're going to raise a flock of chickens to use as food and eggs, I think I would go dual purpose breed. I know it takes longer for them to come to maturity and for you to eat them, but I think it's a more natural process than the Cornish cross. That's my opinion on that. I believe in treating the animals as well as they can be treated. If they're sick, like a couple weeks ago with the heat, Miss Bertha, my biggest barred rock, she's so fat, y'all. She had a little heat stress, so I had to bring her in the house and, make sure that she was cooled down. Oh, there's a hummingbird. I need to refill. See how distracted? ADHD. I just seen a hummingbird fly by, and I realized my hummingbird feeder's empty. Yeah, that's another chore for mamaw. But yeah, I'm not going to say I'm the top expert on chickens. I'm not going to say that I know everything there is to know. But if you follow my page, you'll get useful information. I mean, real information that's not sugar-coated like Pinterest or whatever. You'll see the good and the bad. Because a lot of people have the misconception that raising a flock of backyard chickens is something out of a magazine and it's so cool to be country and all that. And, I was country before country was cool. You know that song? It's hard work. It's dirty work. It's nasty work. And sometimes, it can be devastating if you have a loss in your flock, if you have a death or whatever. But it's nature. That's the way it goes. My grandsons here that I'm helping raise are being raised the old-fashioned way, the country way, self-sufficient way. We usually try to do things ourselves if we can. When my kids were growing up, they called me MacGyver Mama because if there was a problem, I usually tried to fix it, and I usually could fix it. But that's just the way I was raised. We do things ourselves here, for ourselves. Now, the gardening thing is kicking Mama's butt because, and I am determined to nick it in, to get it right. But my husband could throw some seeds out in the garden and harvest them, and it would be a beautiful garden. And I can put seeds out there and baby them and talk to them and nurture them and everything, and they just do nothing. The only thing mamaw is good at growing is roses. I have a couple of rose bushes out here, and I can't kill them, so, But anyway, on the chicken front, that's a little about my setup and about me and my life as it is. I'm not rich by any means. And if something breaks, 9 times out of 10, Mama's going to have to fix it herself. But I'm not even though I'm coming on here and talking to you guys, I'm not really a people person either. For over 20 years, I was a pharmacy technician, and I worked with the public for over 20 years. And I'm just peopled out. Peopled out, y'all. I mean, after you deal with so many of people's problems and their medical issues and your drugs, and you've told them that they can't have their medication and stuff early, and that their insurance is going to charge them an arm and a leg, and you just get every day working in the pharmacy or any medical field. Or my son's an EMT, and anybody in the medical profession. And my oldest granddaughter, she's getting ready to do some kind of medical career. She said something about being a surgeon, but anyway, she's starting college next month, but it'll be in some type of medical field. And the people don't understand how stressful that is. When you tell a 80-year-old woman that she can't have her insulin because it's $500 this month and she can't afford it, and you stress. And my pet peeve when I was a pharmacist technician was the insurance. A lot of elderly people don't understand, and I just got so tired of trying to explain to them how to get their insurance to take care of things. And thank God that, yes, I'm an old woman, but thank God that I had a medical career in pharmacy, because now I know when it comes time to pick insurance what to do, But anyway, that said, I'm not going to be going out to parties. Don't like to go shopping a lot. Don't like a lot of crowds. And my husband's in there talking about this concert and that concert, and I'm like, them days is over. Mama don't want to go to no concert. Mama wants to stay home with her backyard chickens. So, I'm just a homebody, so I'm not going to be out and about. I might go to Tractor Supply or Walmart, but that's about as exciting as Mama gets, okay? Now, but if that's the kind of content you want, you want to learn about chickens, and you want to learn about my crazy life with these teenage boys that I thought, no way in my life would I be sitting here at 63 with a 13-year-old boy living with me, and my daughter works nights, and I get up and take him to school in the mornings when he goes to school. And if you'd have told me 20 years ago that'd been my situation, I'd be like, no. But here I am. And I think it's okay. I think I'm going to be okay. And there's another thing I need you to know about me. You're not going to see me made up. I'm not ever wore makeup. I might have for 10 minutes when I was a teenager. Okay. But this is me. This is what you get. I don't color my hair, and I don't wear makeup. My teeth, there's a gap there. Now, if I go out in public, and if I'm going to be out with my children, and I got dentures that I can wear partial to fill that gap in. And, but I'm just me. If I'm sitting here talking to you on the internet and feeding my chickens, I don't need to put my teeth in. That's the way I feel. And I don't wear makeup and dye my hair. You need to know that. This is what you get. This is how I wake up. Okay? I put this thing in my hair, brush my hair back, and go. That's the way it goes. But anyway, if that's something you might think you want to learn more about chickens and grandbabies and somebody who's trying to garden but don't know what the heck she's doing, y'all can come right along with me on my adventure, because that's what it is. It's my retirement. It's my golden years, so to speak. Even though our house is paid off, we still have bills to pay. But we live on Social Security, and so we're not millionaires. It's not like I'm retired to the good life. But I did manage to get my house paid off before I retired. That was my goal. So if y'all want to hang out, see how things go, and maybe learn about chickens and try and laugh at me while I'm learning how to garden, y'all can hang on out with me. But I'm going to go now, and I will see you in just a minute in the backyard, where I will be feeding and watering my chickens and my ducks. And y'all have a fantastic Thursday.